everybody. Today we have with us the absolutely gorgeous Dia Mirza. She is actually very rightfully getting the award for the Scent Global Spa Fit and Fab Sustainability Icon of the Year. And it won't be wrong to say that she is a multitasker, an actor, a producer, an ambassador, Wildlife Trust of India, Save the Children. Today, amongst us, we have UN Environment Goodwill Ambassador and UN Secretary General Dia Mirza. A well versed actor and artist, Dia is now tirelessly working to promote a sustainable lifestyle as a way of living. She has always been very vocal about spreading awareness about environment related issues. Dia is now using blogging as a medium to save the environment and create awareness. That's a lot of things you're doing, Dia. With so much of work that you're doing and so many hats that you wear ever so successfully, tell us, how do you manage to remain so fit and so fabulous?
Well, I guess so much of what I'm focusing on is about ensuring our health, our individual health, and of course, the health of the planet. And Parinita, when I guess you recognize at an individual level how deeply impacted we all are by the state of the environment, by the fact that climate is changing so rapidly, and the fact that it's warming so rapidly, and even this pandemic that we've collectively experienced and the kind of crisis that it has caused is an outcome of human behavior, of the way we've treated the earth and the environment. So, for the longest time, when we talk about health and fitness, we focus on things like diet and nutrition and physical exercise, but there's very little importance given to the health of the environment and the importance of the health of environment. So if you're doing yoga in toxic air, it's not going to help you. If you're eating food, the right food, you think you're eating the right food, but it's been grown with harsh chemicals or in soil that is polluted or is being watered with polluted water, then you're not eating healthy food. So I think one of the unfortunate realities of our generation and the times we live in is that we have created harsh imbalances in the natural world. We have polluted our natural environment to a great degree. And I can't imagine a life in which I am not passionately advocating for sustainability and the health of the planet, because I don't see the merit in working hard, trying to fulfill your dreams, achieving goals and ambitions without including the reality that I'm a citizen of the planet and the planet is crying for help and it's affecting all of our lives. So I think when you care deeply for something, you make the time for it. I don't think human beings have lost so many people within a year like the way we have. I don't think our health infrastructure and health systems have ever felt this level of pressure. And I think for the first time, people have realized that we've messed up. We need to fix the way we work, the way we live, the way we think. And you can see changes emerging around us all over.
So basically, Dia and sustainability are synonymous words now. When we think Dia Mirza, we always think sustainability. Tell me, do you think people around you are also as evolved, or they really need more? I know COVID 2020 has made a lot of people realize it, but do you think it has really made a change?
I think I do. I definitely see a big shift in the way people are thinking. I also think that there is just so much more activism online now, and options available for sustainable living, whether it is your everyday consumer goods or it is clothes or it is makeup, beauty, cosmetics, just all kinds of things. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you didn't have that many options in India. Today, you have many more options in all these spheres. That aside, I think there's just so much more knowledge now on how to segregate waste, how to compost waste, the fact that we can all refuse single use plastics. We've done such powerful campaigns that have really connected with people. Then you have young people take the mantle forward, where they're actually using social media on a daily basis to create content to educate people. So I feel like in many ways, the community of sustainable living is increasing tenfold. And and the other thing is that Indians, for example, have realized that so much that is perceived as the Indian way is
Right.
actually the sustainable way.
Correct.
Because we're such an ancient civilization, and for the longest time we understood, actually, you think about every old civilization, they recognize the link between nature and human growth and well-being, and everything that they made and everything that they created, whether it was building homes or it was making fabric or whatever it was made keeping this in mind, that we should never harm the earth, never harm the environment. And it's really good to see how so many young people are using traditional knowledge and new age innovation to combine the two and emerge with ideas that are really making a difference. I'm particularly excited about young Indians who are coming up with technical solutions for
Correct.
air pollution, water pollution, management, even fabrics that are being manufactured, which are like made with the pulp or the waste of sugar cane or other such things that are used in large industries where normally it would get wasted. Today fabric is being made out of it, paper is being made out of it, different things are being made. So I feel a great sense of optimism. I feel like it is not going to be long before so much of what we think is niche right now, or
Right.
like a out of the box idea, to become more mainstream.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Because even with tourism, we are seeing a lot of people talking about sustainable tourism, protecting the environment, which is fantastic. Um, but tell me something about your fitness. What do you do to stay fit? I mean, do you exercise, yoga? What is it that you do?
I do a combination of a few things, but my go-to things to maintain balance and health have become the following. One is that I spend time in nature regularly. I, in fact, spend my mornings in the garden, walking bare feet in the grass. It's called earthing.
Okay.
It's something that our ancestors prescribed for all of us to do, to just, that morning dew, that when your feet touch the morning dew and you spend time in nature, it makes a big difference. I obviously do a lot of stretching and breathing exercises and some amount of yoga. And I definitely ensure that meditation is a part of my daily routine. And that aside, eh, I make sure I'm walking 10,000 steps a day. So whether it happens because of the nature of work that I'm doing, or because I've taken those 45 minutes out in the morning and the evening and walked for that time, uh, with like absolute commitment, and ensured that I've clocked 10,000 steps. So, and a plant-based diet. I eat mostly fruits and vegetables and seeds, and um, less meat, less. I've cut gluten out completely from my diet because it causes some amount of bloating and discomfort. Uh, I don't eat dairy products, so there's no milk. I'm drinking kali chai right now, so there's no milk in my chai. I've cut refined sugar out completely from my diet. So these are some of the things that I've done to just be healthy and lead a more healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, so we are actually seeing a lot of people going back to their grandmother's way of living. So it's
Yeah.
like back to the roots, which is so interesting. Tell me, I know you have an interest in Ayurveda, and I do know that you enjoy and follow the Ayurvedic way of life. Tell us what you think about that ancient, what tradition that we have
Yeah,
in India.
it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's one of our richest inheritances, and so I've benefited greatly by using Ayurvedic natural products for my hair, my skin, my body. I've also benefited greatly by excluding certain dietary, you know, things like basically there's a certain like the obviously I have an Ayurvedic doctor who's checked me and said that there's certain foods I should avoid. So
Okay,
since I started doing that, it's made a big difference. I also try and go to a Ayurvedic retreat once a year to
okay,
do a complete detox. That really helps. Because I think at the root of health is alkalinity. So as long as your body is not acidic and you're not acidifying your body with your lifestyle, irregular sleep timings, bad food choices, different things, and then of course you have environmental reasons for creating acidity and toxicity in the body. So going to a Ayurvedic detox center once a year has also benefited me greatly.
so which is the last Ayurvedic retreat you went to?
So there's a place in Kerala that I go back to. It's called. There are two, three places which are very famous. I think it would be unfair to name them, but I think what I will definitely say is that North and South India, the Himalayas have some very, very world-renowned, fantastic Ayurvedic centers, as does the south of India. People from all over the world come here. So I actually find it very amusing when, some of the big names in our film industry go off to Viva Maya and all. And I'm like, why are you going there? We have like the best places in India. You don't need to go to Viva Maya, but it's okay. I guess everybody has their.
Maybe the COVID has made people understand that India has so much more to offer. And in fact, to be honest, we are working with the Ministry of Tourism. They have a special wellness wing where we're trying to make the Indians realize that India has more wellness than anywhere else in the world.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So tell me, if I were to say that you said you, of course, you follow a good diet and stuff like that. But if I were to say that you can eat anything for one day, your cheat meal, and you won't put down even a gram, what would you eat?
I honestly, the only thing that I really crave for, because I grew up eating that stuff and I really enjoy, garam masala is a very special masala. It makes garam masala. So
Okay.
I'm a Hyderabadi girl. I've been
Yeah.
raised in Hyderabadi home. So I'm thinking about it, my mouth is watering. So
Biryani.
yeah, so you give me Hyderabadi khatti dal, you give me kebabs, you give me mirchi ka salan, bagare bengan. All these things are cooked with a combination of desiccated coconut and garam masala and dahi and different things. So I really enjoy Mughlai, authentic Hyderabadi food. So
Okay.
if you allowed me to eat anything on a particular day,
Uh,
I would definitely go with like an assortment of those dishes because I really love them.
my
All of
God, it made my mouth water, and I think that's what I'm ordering for dinner now. But I don't have that option, that it'll make no difference to me, so I better be careful. So listen, what was your inspiration behind following this sustainable lifestyle, getting involved with sustainability in such a big way?
don't have a choice.
Inspired you?
The realization that as human beings, we have to change. We don't have a choice. We don't realize that we are confronted by an existential crisis. If we don't fix the way we think, we eat, we consume, we produce, and we live, we are as we live, we're destroying everything around us, and this is affecting our children. Imagine by 2050 there'll be more plastic in the oceans than fish. We're already got in India 15 of the most polluted cities in the world. These are things we have to fix, these are things we have to change, and the only way we can change them is if we change our habits and if we
Correct.
change our choices. And if we demand that industries do better,
Mm.
we ensure and we insist policymakers, do what they are supposed to, which is follow the law. Because India, fortunately, again, has very strong environmental laws. The
Right.
only problem is that they're not implemented on the ground. And environmentalism is often perceived as obstructionism, which it is not.
Mm.
So I do this because we don't have a choice. I do this because I am so scared of the kind of world I'm going to leave behind for my children. I'm terrified that when they are in their 20s, they're not going to have enough water to drink. They're not going to have cleaner air to breathe. They're not going to be able to see so many of the species we've grown up seeing. So it's nothing but just a sense of duty and urgency that makes me do this.
Yes, that's actually so important. I mean, and it's a wake up call. Maybe this COVID was like a wake up call for us, really. I mean, of course, there
And
were
also,
so many
Parinita,
problems.
I feel like the COVID, in many ways, and I really hope it has, made people realize how little we actually need to be happy.
Absolutely right.
Otherwise, we just become these creatures that were only consuming more of this, more of the, more shoes, more clothes, more jewelry, more this, more that. And you're like, what happens with all of that? It just sits there. How much
Very
do you actually use?
absolutely. No, I have a lot of friends who've said that to me, that we have dozens of shoes, more than dozens of shoes, but nothing work. I mean, it's health which is more important, the environment which is more important, and well, these are the important things. So tell us something about what do you do for your mental well-being, because that has also become a very important topic that everybody is talking about these days. What do you think is very important to maintain a balance mentally? Of course, physically, yes, but mental well being, what do you have to say about that?
Meditation. When you asked me what were the five things or few things that I do every day, I included meditation in that list because I vouch by this that it brings a great amount of balance and stability to the way you think and the way you live and what you become. And that combined, of course, with regular exercise, there's certain chemicals that your body has to release every day, like good hormones, endorphins, happy hormones, and a certain amount of physical activity does that. I even mentioned the 10,000 steps because
Right.
all of this is connected to the mind just as much as it's connected to the body. So nutrition, diet, meditation, and exercise are the three components that really help keep a healthy mind. And
Right.
that side, I feel we're also so much about the company we keep. It's so important to surround ourselves with positive people, happy people, people who are real and simple, who stimulate our growth as opposed to challenge our patience or our peace.
You're
so,
so right.
so choose friends wisely. I think that's one of the things that I've really I cannot tolerate being around people whose biggest pastime is to talk about other people
Right.
and berate them or bring them down, and I'm like, I find that too exhausting. So I've actually consciously pulled myself away from many social groups
Okay.
because you realize after some time that everybody's favorite pastime seems to be discussing or dissecting somebody else's life. And there's so much more to this world and to living in this life than to sitting and discussing other people. So yeah,
Yeah, you're
choose,
right. It's best to
choose
stay
friends
away from
and choose
negativity.
company wisely.
Yeah, I so agree with you. So we know you're a travel buff. You love traveling. Which is your favorite place in the whole wide world? Which is the one place that you really missed going to?
I love being in forests.
Okay.
Absolutely love being forests. And I feel like um, even though I've traveled and I have a lot many more forests to discover in India and the world, the one place that I went to that really, really made me feel like, oh my God, what an incredible planet we live on what is this magic? मतलब ये
Right.
क्या है? It's almost like sorcery. You're like, what is this sorcery? How can everything be so perfect? I felt that when I was at Masai Mara in Africa.
Okay, yes.
Uh, just to see wilderness and wild animals up so close, and in that landscape is magic, absolute magic.
Yes, I agree with you. That's actually really beautiful. And what about in India? Anything in India that you'd like to talk about? A travel destination that you would really
I
like to?
feel India is an extraordinary country. You know, the diversity we have here in culture and architecture and history, and also because we've kind of shared, and so many different communities and cultures have come and settled in India and integrated themselves into our country. Different states have so much, like Madhya Pradesh is gorgeous. There's so much in Madhya Pradesh that blows your mind, whether it's Orcha or it's, the national parks. Then there's Rajasthan, which is mind-bogglingly beautiful. Again, Rajasthan for its architecture, its culture, its diversity, its beauty, its forests. And I feel the same about Gujarat. I feel the same about, Maharashtra. I feel the same about Himachal, Uttarakhand, because the Himalayas have their own magic. I feel the same about the eastern parts of the country, states like West Bengal, Odisha, Assam, uh, Sikkim. My God, have you been to Sikkim? It's just,
I know.
I find India to be one of the most magical countries in the world. We just have, it truly is an incredible nation.
I so agree with you. And fortunately, people are now exploring India because they can't go anywhere else. But
I'm
I
so
want to
glad.
say,
I used to always, so one of the things on my bucket list is to see at least two new places in India every year.
wow,
So many times we tend to repeat a same destination because we form a sense of familiarity, or we love it so much. And I'm like, no, 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 we have to see a new place, at least two new places in our own country before we go anywhere else.
I so true, so true. So tell me, do you love going to spas?
Uh, yes, like I said, I think a good spa retreat, like the ones that I go to, are usually
Ayurvedic, okay.
Ayurvedic. I really enjoy those. I really do.
So tell us, what did you learn from the pandemic, both professionally and personally? What is your takeaway from the pandemic?
That nature is supreme, and nature will find a way to make us pause and realize what we're doing wrong. And like I said earlier, life is simple, less is more. You can make do with a lot less than you imagine.
Absolutely right. And
And what truly makes us happy is just being safe, being with loved ones, and being able to eat food, and being, you know, to have purpose, to have something to do. These are the things you actually need in life. What else do you need? Nothing else.
so tell me now, one last question I'm going to ask you. For a young person who really wants to uh, give something back to the environment, what are your tips for them?
Well, there are many ways to help. One is to, of course, change the way you live. So make better choices every day. There are lots of platforms now that you can access online that give you daily tips on how you can live more sustainably, how you can bring down your individual carbon footprint. One of them is Count Us In,
Okay.
which gives you 17 goals that you can adopt, like the 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay.
Uh, but if you really want to start small, start with following mostly plant-based diet. So reduce your consumption of meats and eat local food. So local seasonal fruit, local seasonal vegetables, and the second thing that you can do is avoid all single use plastics.
Right.
So carry your own metal bottle. I call it the traveling bottle. So wherever you go, refill it with filtered water. It'll improve your immunity, it'll make you healthier. And
Right.
trust me, you'll be doing a lot better in life without using those horrible single-use plastic bottles. And then, of course, all other single-use plastic like straws and bags and other things. The third thing that I think each and every one of us can very easily do to lead a more sustainable life is to segregate and compost waste at home. So take all your kitchen waste, which is your vegetable peels, your fruit, the residue of your fruit or whatever the leftovers from your plate that are thrown or whatever. Anything that has grown from the earth can go back to the earth. So compost all your kitchen waste. You will make a huge difference by doing that. So these are three things that I think everyone can do.
I'm sure that's very useful, and we are really hoping that the young generation starts following these. Like you said, we are seeing a big change, and I hope it sustains. And Dia, thank you so much for being with us. It's really been a pleasure. And honestly, we couldn't have found a better person to give the award of the Synth Global Spa Sustainability Icon. And thank you so much for accepting it. And I really look forward to meeting you personally very soon.
As do I. Thank you so much. It's an
Bye,
honor.
dear. Bye.